How are you there? Can I go deeper? Can I go deeper? I'm going to prophesy something that may be sensitive for other people or difficult to understand for some people. I spoke a few days ago about a skeleton that I saw within two walls. God gave me a vision of a long deserted skeleton. So I prayed in the morning, I saw the skeleton. I think in the afternoon I saw it again. In the evening I saw it again. And then God began to tell me about the sins of the past. Now, later on or the following day, the Lord begins to give me another interpretation of that skeleton, what it represents. Because when I saw in the vision, I saw myself looking at the skeleton. And the Lord did not say anything in that instant, but He said something the following day. And He reminded me of the skeleton that the skeleton is it Isaiah? No, not Isaiah. Ezekiel saw when he saw a valley of dry bones, and God asked Isaiah that, "Son, can these bones be alive? Prophesy so that they can be alive again." Do you know what the bones were? They were the bones of the army of Israel. Isaiah prophesied, and those bones became alive, and the army of Israel arose. God told me something which, in my human understanding, I thought was very sensitive. And then He said to me, "Well, son, if you don't make a video about this one, I will understand." Then I said, "Okay, yes, Lord, I will not make a video about this new revelation about that skeleton." Then, yesterday, which was the following day afterwards, or is it this morning? I can't remember. Then the Lord said, "I actually do want you to make that video about the interpretation of that skeleton." So, as scared as I am of interpreting it, I will give you the other interpretation of what the dry skeleton that God showed me meant. I will tell you. The following day, the Lord began to show me something. He says, it also represents the dry bones of the Ndebele state, or the Ndebele warriors, who have symbolically have died and have been like that skeleton that is like dead, long forgotten, and cannot rise again. That is politically, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Ndebele political aspect. And before God told me that, I was having a conversation with some Ndebeles that I am in a small political party with. So these guys, I think there were four of us in the conversation, and all four of us are Ndebeles. So when we plan about our politics, the other guys suggest that we need to have a Shona president, then a Ndebele vice president, a Shona SG, then a Ndebele vice SG, or a Shona chairperson and a Ndebele vice chairperson. And their rationale was that, well, you can really never lead Zimbabwe without a Shona person involved. In fact, they were saying that their rationale was that Ndebeles cannot lead a successful political party unless if the leader of that party must be Shona, so that we can get votes. Otherwise, if we are all Ndebeles, we are not going to get votes. And then God challenged me and reminded me of this vision, that you know what, the Ndebeles themselves, even the political players and the Ndebele people, they are like a dead skeleton politically, such that even in their brains they think that a Ndebele person cannot lead Zimbabwe without a Shona person involvement. You see, this thing is in the brains of the Ndebeles. It has got nothing to do with Shona people. It's got to do with the Ndebele themselves thinking that they are not able. They look at the numbers. They say, the population of the Ndebeles is 20%. The population of the Shonas is 80%. Therefore, Ndebele will not win the presidential race. Well, then, not every Shona is the same, of course, but as a Zulu can win the presidency, a Karanga can win, but not all the other voters are Karangas. So if you view it that way of Ndebele versus Shona, you'll be lost, because Zimbabwe is actually many tribes, and there's not even one that is dominant. I do understand the idea of grouping all Shona aligned tribes together. You will see them as 80%, and Ndebele aligned tribes. Because if you talk about Ndebeles, it's not just Ndebeles, there's also the Tongas, Kalangas, the Tswanas, and the Sutus. Basically everybody who speaks Ndebele in Matebele land. And also if you look at the Shona people, it's involving all of those Ndawus, Karanga, Manyika, and all of those different dialects. Basically we have divided people into those two regional but also two language bases. And then it came to my mind to realize that, okay, we the Ndebelers have taken a self-defeatist position such that we have died when it comes to a political I don't know, political life, political strength, political within the political arena. We sort of like are like that those dry bones I was looking, that we are dead and not willing to even arise. Because I was having a conversation with these Ndebeles. They were all saying, no, we want to do politics, but we can't have a party which is not led by a Shona person. Which was crazy to me, because I was like, here we are starting what we were starting. Why should we go and look for somebody that is not even here? And then we were saying, because we are afraid that the people will not like us. Are we not Zimbabweans? We might as well not even start this thing in the first place if we're going to say that we are less of a people. You might as well not complain when your government treats you like second-class citizens, because you yourself treat yourself like a second-class citizen. So here's my thing. That vision made me realize that I need to prophesy to the dry bones of the Ndebele politicians to arise and take their position and know that you can lead the country. You can campaign in Masuku, you can campaign in Manikaland, you can campaign in Mashonaland and actually become a more favored candidate than even their own people who speak their own languages. Because to lead the nation is about policies, it's about the integrity of a person. You understand? So even the voter, eventually it gets to his or her brain to understand that, well, this person might not speak my language, might not be from my tribe, but when it comes to the country, this one has got the integrity and the mentality to take us forward. Yes, of course, there will be some people who for some reasons will play that tribal card, but that is a challenge that you should be willing to at least overcome. I mean, Barack Obama became the first black president in the United States, yet the black population in the United States is only 20%. So who was the majority of people that voted for him? It was white people. Today in Britain, we do have Rishi Rishi as the Prime Minister of the UK, and he's of Indian origin. Who voted for him there? It was British white people. Did they not see that he's of Indian ancestry? They did see, but they also recognize his mindset, character, integrity, ability to lead Britain into the future. And then that became weighty to understand. So I think now we need to get to a point of looking at the weighty things, because tribe is not weighty. Where you are from is not weighty. What is weighty is the ability and the integrity to do right, do justice to all the citizens of your country. That is why some of us are running on that lane, on that path of saying, consider us. We are also able and are willing, and we have got that integrity, that personal conviction that yes, indeed, we can do this thing. We can lead this country. The country is very small. It's not big. Just under 20 million people. We can do that. I, as Ndebele, as Ngobani Zondo, I know I can lead the country for all people, for all regions. Those that speak like me and those that don't speak like me. Those that look like me and those that do not look like me. And it is important that the dry bones of the Ndebele speaking people come alive so that they can contribute to the political discourse in shaping the future for Zimbabwe that we all want, and not to undermine themselves in thinking that they are less of a people. What is that, Lord? Thank you.